Hi, my name is Trent, and this is my story. I was born into a Christian family. We weren't die-hard Christians. We would go on the high holy days like Christmas and Easter. It was always kind of my parents' faith. We never talked about it. And I just kind of believed that God was there. I didn't give much thought to it. And as years went on, I kind of forgot about God and lived my life. And then when I was 8, my parents decided to get a divorce. And that was rough within itself. And I remember months leading up, I would turn to God and I would cry every night praying that it wouldn't be me, my family wouldn't get ripped apart. My parents were constantly fighting over the phone and screaming. There was never a kind word exchanged between them. It was always just fighting over whose house I was at. Court battle dragged on, and it didn't seem like there was an end in sight. And so that damaged my view of God almost. Like I prayed for this not to happen, and why did it end up happening to me? My father became abusive verbally and physically. For hours on end, he would just scream at me for seemingly no reason, like a bad grade on my multiplication test or something like that, 3rd grade. He would blackmail me because I would say I wouldn't want to go to his house anymore because of that. And he would say, well, then I'm just not going to talk to you anymore. You're not going to talk to the rest of your family, like your grandma or your grandpa. And so I stayed with him through that, and then he also started punching and hitting me and leaving bruises on my arms and legs. And that was a really difficult time for me. At this point, I began to question the existence of God, and if God was real, was he really a being that loved me? And I remember my mom forcing me to go to church on Easter with our friends that had invited us. And I remember I was sitting in the front row, and Jason was talking, and he was saying, he used this analogy of a balloon, that if the balloon is full of all of the anger and hatred you have for other people, nobody else can see what's inside, nobody else knows what's inside besides you, and it's only hurting you, so you just kind of need to let it go. And I realized that had really spoken to me, and at that point I remember crying and trying to let go, and I forgave my father that day, because I hadn't spoken to him in years at that point. I forgave him. I never said I forgave him, and I still rarely speak to him, but and it's a constant choice of forgiveness. The thing that really got me back to God was realizing that he may not have stopped the stuff that happened to me, but he didn't want what happened to me to happen. My favorite verse is James 1:12. Blessed is the one who perseveres on a trial, for having stood the test, that they will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him.